Ethiopia is home to 35 million chickens, 25 million sheep, 22 million goats, 2 million camels, and 49 million cattle, the sixth largest cattle population in the world. Together, these animals form Africa's largest livestock population, and Ethiopia is the continent's top livestock producer and exporter. Most of the country's domestic animals, approximately 75%, are still raised by small-scale farmers in mixed-crop livestock systems. The animals provide draft power, transportation, sources of milk, nutrition in times of drought, and manure for fertilizer and fuel. While domestic demand for animal products in Ethiopia is increasing, stemming from the urban middle and upper class, only 1 to 2% of the average Ethiopian's diet is animal protein, and no McDonald's or other international quick-serve chain yet operates in the country. Ethiopia's export market potential is the driving force behind the sector's intensification, with the government, donor agencies, and international agribusinesses regarding the industry as an important resource to develop. Factory-style facilities for poultry, meat, and dairy production have sprung up in the towns of Debrecen and Nazareth on the outskirts of the capital, Addis Ababa, as well as in Addis itself. Elfora Agro Industries, a homegrown Ethiopian agribusiness, owns modern ranches that can hold up to 65,000 cattle and 400,000 goats and sheep, and operates feedlots and slaughterhouses throughout Ethiopia. As the country pursues the intensification of its livestock sector, its development needs remain immense, and its ecologic constraints considerable. Similar to many countries in Africa and the Middle East, Ethiopia's population of 85 million is young. Nearly half is 14 or under, and growing by one of the world's fastest rates. Nearly 40% of the population lives below the poverty line, and 25 years after a debilitating famine that drew the world's shocked attention, food security for Ethiopia remains stubbornly elusive. 1/10 of Ethiopia's population remains dependent on food aid year in and year out, regardless of drought or other crises. In addition, climate change models predict that arid and semi-arid regions will increase by 60 to 90 million hectares, 150 to 222 million acres, throughout sub-Saharan Africa by the end of the century. By that time, a vast majority of Ethiopia's land, already degraded by overgrazing and overproduction of crops, will be considered drought-prone. This is particularly bad news for the 80% of the population that is rural and heavily reliant on natural resources, and will no doubt make the growing of food or grazing of livestock even more of a hurdle. Should Ethiopia expand factory-style livestock facilities, it will likely be forced to import the water-intensive grain required by such operations, potentially putting people and animals in direct competition for food. Rising demand for wheat bran, sorghum, and maize for livestock will cause the price of each to rise, making it even more difficult for the average Ethiopian to access key dietary staples. Today, Ethiopia's land, water, forests, and capacity to produce food are under severe pressure. By 2050, the human population is expected to more than double. Livestock numbers will grow too. How will Ethiopia be able to support and feed its rapidly expanding human and livestock populations as the impacts of climate change grow more intense?